Joining us at the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival is Donell Baldwin, creator of Mr. Baldwin
Style.
There we go.
Yes.
Because I let you say style because this brother is stylish. Okay, look at me. I'm a drab mess standing next to you, sitting next to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But you look great.
I will take that compliment from you because I know it's sincere. But talk to me first about what fashion means to you.
Oh, goodness. Fashion means a lot to me. I remember growing up seeing my grandfather mow the yard in a polo and white shorts and white boat shoes. And I was like, why is he dressed so nicely to do such a laborious task? And I'd see him show up time after time in suits and three-piece suits and bow ties and neckties. He taught me how to tie my first necktie. And I just fell in love with it more and more. And it was just that gentlemanly quality, that care, that precision, that detail that really, really sparked my interest in fashion.
That interest in fashion has become a career in fashion. How do you get from watching your uncle mow the lawn to owning
Grandfather.
How do you get from seeing your grandfather mow the lawn to owning your own fashion house?
Yeah, well, that's a very long story. How much time do we have?
As long as you need to take.
So it's a very long and nuanced story, but my very first job, also encouraged by my grandfather and my mom, was at a local department store. And at that local department store, they carried very luxurious brands, and I was hired as the youngest employee. And my counterparts were 40, 50. They had kids that were my age. And they literally taught me and showed me the ropes. They'd say, hey, no, you need to put this with this, and this shoe needs to go here, and this jacket should be like this. And I started to embody that, and I started dressing very professionally. I had to wear a suit every single day to work. And I started to catch the eyes of some of the people who were coming in to shop. And some of the businessmen would come in and say, where'd you get your suit from? And I'd say, over here, I'll take you. And I would style them from head to toe. At 16 years old, 17 years old. Fast forward to college, grad school. I'm doing an internship. I'm at MTV, and there is this very tall, statuesque lady who's walking around. She's huge afro. She's walking down this corridor, and I'm following her to see where she's going. Now, I'm there as a production intern for TRL and DFX at the time, and I see her walk into the wardrobe room, and I'm like, I knock on the door and I say, what are you doing in here? What is this room? And she says, oh, we're the stylists. We're the styling team. We're the wardrobe department for MTV. And so I said, do you mind if I come in and help you with like your projects or whatever things that you need done after my internship? So I do an internship from 8 to 4, and around 5 or 6, I'd show up in the wardrobe department. And that's where I got my first inkling about styling and fashion and really, really honed in on it being a profession. Now, fast forward throughout many, many years of working in retail, working in fashion, I started working at Ralph Lauren. I was working at the store. And I'd show up really well-dressed and caught the eye of the district managers who literally were like, why are you in the back of the house? Because at the time I was in the stockroom dressed like this.
Wow.
And they said, you need to be in the front of the house. So they brought me on the floor, had a couple call outs, and I ended up selling like $6,000 worth of product in like an hour and a half. And they were like, you need to be a part of this team.
Like, this brother can sell.
What are you doing? Like, what's going on? And so Ralph Lauren was opening up a store in the Hamptons. And they hand-selected 40 people across the nation in Ralph Lauren stores to go help open up the stores in the Hamptons. In that store is where I met the SVP who became my boss and brought me from in-store into corporate offices.
Okay.
So I became his executive assistant, and then he asked me, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a stylist. And he literally helped to pave the way for me to become a stylist at Ralph Lauren.
But then you open up your own shingle.
Yes.
You decide that your vision is broader than even, the brand.
Yes.
So where did your brand, what makes your brand, what makes Baldwin so different?
Yes, so Mr. Baldwin Style is a boutique styling organization. We style many different brands that are kind of under that preppy aesthetic. So you'll see Brooks Brothers, Nautica, again, Ralph Lauren. We'll have tons of different brands that kind of will do catalogs, campaigns, commercials, even a little bit of costume designing for some of their projects as well. But it's a boutique organization owned with my wife. And we just kind of travel around the world doing what we've been doing for other.
Just travel around the world looking fantastic and making other people look fantastic.
Ourselves. Yeah, exactly. So we decided to bet on ourselves. And in that process, we wrote a book on menswear, men's fashion, and that has garnered a lot of attention and a lot of support and really helped to propel our careers in fashion quite a bit more.
Well, then let's talk about this new era of what seems to be a new era of Black dandyism. It's in the news. You talked about that preppy aesthetic, and you've got the Met Gala. You've got everyone talking about Black dandyism and what it means to dress fine and look fine. What are your thoughts as someone who's back of the house, front of the house, owning the house?
Yes, I think as a communications scholar, I feel like you are judged or you are communicating a message before opening your mouth, before you even speak, before you even say a word. You walk in and someone already has assessed something about you, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's inevitable. That's just kind of what happens. So I feel like fashion is almost like armor. It is a way to communicate a message to someone without having to speak. You can come into a space, and if you're impeccably dressed, people will stand up a little straighter. Mm-hmm. They'll understand, like, oh, wait, this guy means business. Or if you're casual, someone will be like, oh, he's relaxed. He's really a charming, really kind-hearted, doesn't take himself too seriously type of vibe. But I really strongly feel like fashion is a great way of visually communicating a message.
So the style speaks before ever you open your mouth.
Yes, 100%. And I feel like that was something that was taught throughout the years, and obviously with Black dandyism, I feel like that part of showing up in a certain way was to garner respect. It was to garner attention. It was to show I am here. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be seen. I deserve to be heard. I do have a place here. I am exceptional. Listen to me. And the way that you show up with your clothes sometimes really helps to open up that door and really helps to solidify your purpose in that moment.
Mr. Baldwin Styles works with these incredible companies, these incredible brands. Can a schlubby individual like myself...
You're not schlubby. I've seen schlubby. You've seen schlubby. You're not schlubby.
But can an individual be styled?
Yes.
By Mr. Baldwin.
Absolutely. So in addition to that, we have red carpet clients that we work with. We also have just personal styling clients. Like there are businessmen who say, hey, I'm going on a trip to Barbados. I need a capsule collection. How can I look good but not bring a ton of clothes? We're like, okay, cool. We'll go and we'll pick out 25 pieces, maybe 5 to 6 pair of trousers or shorts, and however many remaining shirts, sweaters, jackets, and they'll all be able to intermingle, intermix, and interstyle so that you have multiple outfits within this capsule collection. So we do that. We also have done very one-on-one. Maybe you have a closet that's full of stuff that you just need to get rid of.
You just get rid of this trash.
We come through and we're like, that tie is from 19 whatever, but it's not great. We need to let that go. The shoes are run over. And in a very tactful way, obviously, but still, there's some things that we just hold on to that we can let go of. And if it doesn't bring us joy anymore, it's like, I don't think you need that. Let's get you something better. Let's get you something with quality and long lasting. So we definitely work with individuals.
A film festival, the African American Film Festival, tells the story of black creators, and it highlights and it magnifies Black creators. What you're doing is magnifying and showing our creativity without the film, without the celluloid, just you walking in your everyday life. Do you feel a burden, a responsibility, or any kind of joy that this is your chosen profession and what it brings to the people?
Yeah, I always get excited because the thing is like, and particularly when we work with individuals, when we show them how they can look, and we show them a different way of, well, maybe if we take it in here, you'll see like their eyes will light up. Oh yeah, I never thought to get that tailored. I never thought to tailor my T-shirt. I never thought to get my pants hemmed. That's just not something I would ever do. But this looks good. This looks great. And you see the wheels turning. You're introducing them to a enlightened or a better self. You're showing them like, okay, you're working with some good stuff, but let's turn it up a notch. Let's get you right. Let's turn it up. And so when I think about fashion in general, it definitely brings me joy because it is a way to show your artistic ability, your creativity, your who are you? You know, I'm a little bit of a style chameleon, so I might be preppy today, but I might be Lenny Kravitz tomorrow. You know, twist the hair up and, you know, rocker T-shirt and cowboy boots. So it's playing, it's playful. There is joy in embracing all of the different layers of who you are. And so that's where our business comes in and shows like, well, who is this character? Who is this person? And looking at your life sometimes as, who is the character I want to be today? I want to be preppy. I want to be business-like. I want to be a rock star. And really, really helping them embrace whoever that character is. So there is some really great, joyful moments that I can think of that, particularly working with individuals, that really, really shines through in our work.
I love that you talked about the playfulness and the creativity and almost breaking out of molds, right? One day you're preppy, the next day you're a rock star. What would you say to the young fashion, would-be fashionista, would-be designer that feels if I'm in that business, I got to be a certain way, or I have to come a certain way, or I will be perceived a certain way? Like, you are in business with your wife, you styled for the biggest brands, you style individuals. What would you say to that young person who's trying to get their foothold and doesn't know if they can be preppy one day, rock star the other? What would you say to them?
You know what? Take the limits off. Be yourself. Take the limits off and be yourself. I think that a lot of times just being your authentic self that's enough. And sometimes, like I said, I'm a style chameleon. So I wake up one day and I'm like, I think I'm going to be very studious, and I'm going to put on my glasses, and I'm going to wear my cardigan, and and the next day, literally, I'm in a tank top and shorts. I'm going to be the guy who's athleisure, and I'm marrying the worlds of fashion and fitness. So I would say to a young person, really be your true, authentic self. Explore, be creative. Do not limit yourself. Press the boundaries a little bit. Be okay with starting conversations, and be okay with some failures too. I look back at some pictures and I'm like, what in the world did I have on? That's crazy. But being open to those type of things as well is a part of life. It's a part of growing, and it's a part of becoming who you are.
Donell Baldwin, CEO, creator, fashion icon of Mr. Baldwin Styles. At a film festival where people are telling their stories on film, you are telling stories by the way you dress. Thank you so much for joining us and making us just a little bit sharper.
Thank you. I appreciate it.